Hi friends, Namaste. Wherever I take money workshop across the world, one question prominently is asked to me, almost in all workshops. The question is that, if I'm spiritual, should I keep away from money? Maybe you have this question as you're watching this. Let me flash back to one of the participants who had come to the money workshop. And he said during the workshop that, I'm highly spiritual. I said, good, you're spiritual. So, he said, I'm highly spiritual, but that's why I don't want much money. Little money is okay, I don't want much money. He was thinking he's spiritual and also anti-money. Confusion. I asked him, where did this come from? He said, I have a spiritual master. He named the spiritual master who runs a huge spiritual organization in India. And he said, my spiritual master never touches money. I smiled and asked him a very genuine question. I said, when you look back into your life, do you think you have made enough money? He said, no. My whole energy moved so much into spirituality that I don't pay attention to money, and money is not important in life. It is okay. If it comes, if it doesn't come, it's still okay. But I am for spirituality. I said, let me ask you some very basic questions. I asked him, whenever your spiritual master has this big satsang or talk or whatever, seminars of tens of thousands of people, who are sitting in the first front rows, 1 or 2 rows? Tell me honestly. He said the first 2 rows are reserved for people who are wealthy or people who have power and money put together. VIPs or VVIPs. Very, very important persons. What about you who have so much love for the spiritual master and the spiritual organization, and you don't have too much money also, like you said? That's the reality, and I'm honest. You are honest with yourself. I'm happy that you are honest with yourself. Where were you standing? Where do you stand during such satsangs? He said, no, I put a badge of service or seva and I stand far away. I said, your spiritual master doesn't touch money? He said, no. I said, then how does he go on Mercedes Benz? How does he have this luxury cars? How does he have this fancy, huge 1,000 acres of ashram and hundreds of other ashrams across the world? How does he have all that? No, he doesn't touch money. But we disciples lovingly give it to him. I said, we means you? No, not I, but others who have money give it to him. Isn't it a paradox? Such is the confusion of money and spirituality. India was never there. India was the only place in the world tens of thousands of years back where we understood all the vital aspects of life so completely. When I really look at the Indian teachings and the Western teachings, Indian teachings are so holistic, so complete. 10,000 years back, everything and anything about any aspect of life was told, documented, over and finished. There's nothing more to learn. It was so profound and complete that they thought of the next 10,000 years and they finished the game itself. The basic foundation of the Indian teaching comes from the 4 Purusharthas, which are Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. So profound. Dharma means values. Kama means fulfillment of desires. Moksha means spirituality. Spirituality was placed last. The process was very clear. Have a great value system. Make whatever money through the right means. Fulfill your desires, your family's desires, and the desires of the society in which you live in. Last, you go towards spirituality. Because you would have completed all this in such a wonderful way, spirituality happens on its own. It is not something that needs to be done. And the Indian master said, even ignorance is fine. Not having knowledge is fine. But the most dangerous is wrong knowledge, which is plenty. First of all, you have not understood spirituality at all in its fullness. And neither have we really bothered to pay attention to money. Because we are so busy paying attention to everything around. We are so caught up with movie stars, and we know so much about the movie stars that even the movie star will not know so much about himself or herself. I took a friend to the mall. He knew everything in the mall. Every shop, every eatery, he had by hearted the whole menu card of McDonald's, and he knew each burger by name and the price. So much attention. But when it comes to paying attention to self, not there. I actually see that people who don't truly understand spirituality, they get lost. They have massive issues in the area of money. How can money come in between anything in life? They got such a wrong interpretations. And so-called evil spiritual guys, not masters, evil spiritual guys who have huge organizations are propagating wrong ideas that money is not so good, money is evil, and they are propagating this idea because you think it is evil and you give back the money to them and they create their organization in a huge way. It's all about brainwashing. The spiritual master in himself might not have the money, but he has 100 people in whose pockets he can dip the money. The whole attention is you need to pay attention to yourself. It is hard eating. Because if your whole energy is going towards just aimlessly closing your eyes and doing some kind of spiritual work, you'll be very shocked. You'll be very shocked. And that's the very foundation. Money needs a different drive. Money needs a different energy. Money needs you to move forcefully, to do what is necessary. And the wrong understanding of spirituality makes you a vegetable. You just close your eyes and just sit around and do so-called whatever meditation or chanting or whatever, which you have actually not learned in the true honest way. It is a beautiful form of escape. And we have such wonderful form of escape. We can just say there is something to be addressed in the real world. There is some urgency to make money. Your family is dependent on you. You need to make that drive. You need to take that effort. Money is so much dynamically outside. It's an outside journey. And Indian masters always knew spirituality make you withdrawn. Spirituality make you lazy. Spirituality will make you totally relaxed. You will not have the drive to move in. And then it becomes a form of escapism. When spirituality becomes a form of escapism, which is 90% prevalent across the world, then you lose spirituality, you lose money also. Imagine a person not having money, if he's closing his eyes and thinking about spirituality or meditating. Meditating is a pure state. It's a subtle state. All your problems will get magnified. Imagine a person who has handled money so wisely, who has all the money flowing, and who has set his systems very right, that every month he or she gets his desired money, whatever their lifestyle is, more than that, they can actually become spiritual on their own. Money is such a beautiful thing. Spirituality is also beautiful, provided we understand it rightly, not the way like the masses today are understanding and getting highly confused. Who is at loss? Those people who have a wrong understanding become helpless. They are neither here nor there. If you don't have money in your life, you can't even afford to go to Himalayas. Forget anything else. Wherever you are, wouldn't you need money? Even if you want to go to spiritual discourse, these days spiritual masters so-called charge a bomb for everything in life. You need to have money for that. My friends, the truth of life is understanding every dimension in the true, pure, absolute 360-degree sense. Life is very precious. Don't fret it away. Don't lose it. In the mind game of years, in the escape mechanisms, in the kind of things that have been told to you, stop, ponder, reflect. Ask yourself. When you ask yourself those vital questions, answers come. Genuine answers come. Genuine spiritual masters are there, very far and few between. They will come. Genuine books are there, far and between. They will come. The darkness of questions are plucked away, removed in the light. Knowledge is light in India. So the whole question is genuinely contemplate what is true spirituality, what is money, and actually then you will see both can harmonize. You don't need to live one for the other. And if this mindset is there that I need to live this for that or that for this, you will have a very sad life. I feel very pained because spiritual people are so genuine and so nice. But the sadness is just because they don't understand money, they have a real tough time. I have seen people in old age homes suffering because they did not make money for themselves. They went wrongly into all understanding of spirituality, and neither they are there nor here. My friends, ponder over your life. And pondering and reflecting are the greatest strengths. I truly wish you the true spirituality and the true money, and when both come together, Lakshmi and Saraswati can be together. They don't separate. I wish you success in your journey.